If you can't tell, it's Space Week. It's starting now.
It's a brand new thing. We're fucking excited. Get with the program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the program is Space Week.
Right now.
Program Space Week. The program is Natural Habitat Podcasting Program Service. And the program is...
brought to you by YouTube.
YouTube. Natural Habitat Podcast. Natural Habitat Podcast. The Natural Habitat Podcast.
Yo, welcome to the Natural Habitat Podcast, everybody. Make sure you put some respect on it when you tell your friends to go and listen to the show. My name is Mikey Booyah.
My name is motherfucking Birdman. Man Bird.
I'm excited because myself and Man Bird are here today to kick off Space Week.
Yeah.
You know, we decided that space is so vast, so huge, so insane that you can't just talk about it in an episode. You know what I mean? It's
but we do have somebody that could sum it up for you in under 2 minutes.
That's right. When I said you can't, I meant us. I meant like me and Manbird here.
We're not that great.
Yeah, but we do have our good friend Bill Nye, the guy of science, as he is called, here in the studio to go ahead and share something with our listeners. So, Bill, the floor is yours.
Boom.
So I'm this guy standing on a planet. Our planet's pretty big compared to me. Really, I'm just a speck standing on this big planet. But the planet, compared with the star, is just another speck. And the Earth is orbiting the sun, and the sun is a huge star. And our star may be a big deal to us, but my friends, our star is just another speck. So I'm a guy, I'm a speck, living on a speck out on the edge of the galaxy. I mean, it's not really in downtown Milky Way, it's way out on the side. We're just a speck on a speck, orbiting a speck. But I'll tell you what else. There's billions and billions of stars, billions and billions of specks, and then billions of galaxies. I mean, I'm a speck, living on a speck, orbiting a speck in the middle of specklessness. But then I think, I'm this little brain. I have this brain. It's only this big to think about all of this, to think about the vast emptiness of space. I can reason that I'm a speck on a speck in the middle of specklessness, and that's cool. That's worthy of respect.
When y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
And you can't help but wonder, with those billions and billions of specks, are there other specks out there? That would change everything, because then you know that these little brains are not alone. And that, my friends, is worth thinking about.
You're goddamn right it is, Bill. Thank you for joining us. I'm sorry that we didn't really, go back and forth that much, but you seem like you had a lot to say.
He summed it all up, and I feel speckish.
Yeah, so thank you, sir. We got a job to do, so you can go ahead and let yourself out.
Boom.
Yeah, so...
I could listen to that guy for hours.
Right? And I just did for 1 minute and 15 seconds, and he blew my mind.
Yeah. Within
1 minute and 15 seconds.
I mean, like... It takes a big brain to make you feel real small.
Yeah. Did you see his debate with Ken Ham that he did?
I'm not sure.
It was it's actually an amazing fucking video. I want to say it's like maybe
tell us all about it.
Maybe an hour and a half long. It's on YouTube. They did this episode is brought to you by YouTube, and this debate is on YouTube, which is crazy, you know what I mean? This is not
brought to you by YouTube.
This is not a plug though that I'm telling you about this debate. This actually is something that's interesting. But it's if you just look up Bill Nye versus Ken Ham, you'll get Ken Ham runs the Center of Creationism or whatever the fuck it's called. And he believes that the world is 6,000 years old and blah, 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 and stands by every line of the Bible. And, when you go, why does it say this? He goes, well, it really means this, and likes to bend things. And, he has this museum of creationism that when kids come in the door, he constantly pays for field trips for like kids to come, and kids come in the door and they see dinosaurs and cavemen like hanging out together. And he's like, yeah, this is how it was. It was like a Flintstones kind of world. And, you know, so Bill Nye was like, what the fuck are you doing? This is ridiculous. So he challenged him to a live debate where they would do it at Ken Ham's like university or whatever that he is a professor at. And Bill Nye went in, did this long debate with them versus, you know, evolution versus creationism. And just everything that Bill Nye said shot down all of Ken Ham shit. And every time that he would say something, Ken Ham would be like, well, read in the Bible, it says this. And like Bill Nye was like, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear the Bible. Like, tell me facts. Tell me, like, because I'm giving you facts and data and all this shit. And you're just telling me to read the Bible. So it was really good. And Ken Ham just looked stupid as fuck. Just looked way ridiculous the whole time. So it's a good watch.
Good job, Bill.
Yep.
Bill.
Yeah, Bill Nye, the science guy.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what it was.
Implanted in everybody.
What did I say earlier? Bill Nye, the guy of science? Yeah. Bill Nye, the guy of science. That's how the song goes.
Yeah, it doesn't sound
It's
good.
the Mandela effect is what happened, and it's different. So, speaking of the Mandela effect and conspiracies, I have this conspiracy that I stumbled across, and
Get the fuck out of here.
yeah, I swear to God, dude, I stumbled across a conspiracy online.
Of sorts?
Can you believe it?
Of reals.
And this one is kind of for reals. It stuck out to me because there's no reptilians involved or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I found out that a large amount of people have been coming up missing inside of state parks in America. And it's been this big thing that's been going on for years. A bunch of children, a bunch of elderly people. And supposedly when the state parks are contacted about it, nobody wants to say anything about, you know, the cases. No one wants to aid in any investigation. They just say they don't know what they're talking about. And these people are just kind of gone and forgotten. And a lot of people go out there and lose themselves on purpose because they want to hide from society and they want to, you know, leave their life or whatever and fake their death or whatever it may be. But there's these small cases that are strange and things that I found that are a little bit weird that I, just with my mind, am going to point towards aliens. The aliens have a lot to do with this because of one story in particular, all right? There's this little girl. She's like 6 or 7 years old. She wanders off. They're like camping in some state park. And I'll try to see if I can find the story. But she goes missing. They can't find her. They start a search party. And she's gone for 6 days. They find her 6 days later. And she's super calm. Just chilling. Sitting on a fucking fallen tree. Like she had been gone for 15 minutes. And after 6 days as a child, you'd almost be dead. You know what I mean? I don't even know if I could survive 6 days as an adult.
Yeah, if you have some type of knowledge or like any type of fucking outdoor skills.
But as a kid, you know, you don't know what she was eating. You don't know what kind of water she was drinking, if it was good or not. You know what I mean? And she seemed fine. She seemed totally fine.
Yeah, this is a trip, dude. This is super trip. Does it say like a percentage of like how many people go missing every year, or like is there any type of numbers?
I did find something that was about let's see, 1,100 people have disappeared from our national parks and open spaces in the past 100 years. So that's over 100 people a year, 110 people a year on average go missing, which is a pretty substantial number when you think about it. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't seem like a lot in the whole scope of things, but these are 110 every year. You know, children, mothers, fathers, like people that somebody cares about is just gone mysteriously in a national park.
It says 50% of the children who go missing are found dead. And the ones who are found miles away from where they disappeared in areas seemingly impossible for them to get to on their own. And it says that some children who disappeared had dogs with them. In some cases, the dogs would return, but the children never did. Children found alive wouldn't talk about their experiences, or they said that they didn't remember it happened to them. They were usually found running like a low fever or appear traumatized. And then in all cases, parents say that their child were right behind them, usually wearing like bright colors, and then said when they would disappear and they would be found miles away, they'd be found with no shoes or anything, but not scratched or bruised. So it's like, it's weird, right? It does sound like some abduction shit. It sounds like some fucking, like they're just getting picked up out of nowhere and then fucking returned in a different spot afterwards, and then they're all good, except for the ones who don't come back. So like, who's to say, right? The ones, I'm sure ones found dead have like accountable things, like ways to figure out what happened to them, but the ones who don't come back, there's no way to build any type of fucking information or any type of statistics from that, because you don't know what happened to those ones whatsoever, so it kind of leaves a huge gap for anybody to interpret it however they want, I guess,
Mm-hmm. Another thing that's weird is that not one person carrying a firearm disappeared.
Oh.
And
what does that say about people? Does that say what? That says like, for one, you have a strong sense of fucking, like, you're okay because you get that gun. You're confident.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, fuck it. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me.
Uh-huh.
But when you're unarmed, your mind's in a different place, right? You're like a lot more timid, a lot more worried,
a lot more vulnerable.
Like vulnerable, looking around, worried about your surroundings, what could be out there, wild animals or fucking whatever. Your senses are like heightened, and you're like aware of everything. You're like in go mode. Mm-hmm. So that could make like a easy way to see why people could get lost or freak out or disappear on their own. You know how easy it is to get lost in the woods?
Yeah, it's really fucking easy, especially in a national park where the land is untouched. There's no fences or signs or anything like that. It's just untouched land. Yeah,
everything looks the same.
Yeah.
Too, you know what I mean? Like when you're out there under a canopy, you can't, like when you're looking through trees and shit, everything really looks the same. If you don't leave like markers of where you went, you really don't know where you went, and it's unless you have some type of GPS, and then most of that shit don't even work out there because of whatever signal blockage, because it's like, satellite or whatever, you have to wait till the satellite passes by. Yeah. or like whatever, you know what I mean? Like there's a million things, so it's crazy. I don't know, man. I worry about that shit. When I go out to the woods, I worry about fucking maybe getting too far off the trail and not being able to find myself back. You know what I mean? And it's a scary place. The world is a scary place when you're out in nature anywhere, really. The world is big. You get fucking stuck somewhere, you start to freak out. Yeah. If you got that panic gene in you, you're fucking done some.
And it's like, you could be there. There was one story that I read about this girl that was missing. She got lost in the woods, got turned around, was walking for days, and they found her body. She had died of she had finally died of exhaustion and just laid down and fucking died 40 feet from the road. She was like almost to the road. And I want to say she had been walking. Yeah, she had been walking along it and no one had driven by. And I mean, it was like an unused road, but if she would have found the road, then she could have followed the road to wherever. And she was walking along the road and couldn't see it in the foliage. So she just fucking, when you see that road, it'll give you that boost and you'll get that adrenaline pump and you're like, all right, cool, I'm good. Now if I just push through, then I'll be able to make it. But she gave up. And another one of these cases I was reading was this dude was on a trip with his family in the summer of '69, and him and his brothers decided to play a prank on the family where they would all go hide in the woods around the campsite and then all jump out from different sides and scare them when they come back from the lake or whatever. You know what I mean? So they all go and hide on separate sides of the campsite in the woods, and one of the kids disappeared. Dennis, one of the brothers, went into the woods, never came back. And it's like they weren't hiking anywhere. They were just going to go hide in the woods. So that's a trip, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's easy to fucking get lost. See, if you were in tune with space, you could just navigate by the stars and
yep,
be
use
all right.
Use the sun and use the stars, and you'll be gravy.
Yeah, but motherfuckers don't know that.
Yeah. So
can't go play in the woods when you have no knowledge of the woods, man.
Right?
It's a scary world.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking monsters and shit. Bigfoot. Man, it could have been Bigfoot that got them people, you know, like the interdimensional one.
Yeah, it could have been. Going through portals and shit.
I can't even keep that serious, you know, like fuck Bigfoot. I don't know, man. I'm such a skeptic, right? Like I don't want to say that they don't exist, but I don't want to say that they do.
Bigfoots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it definitely is possible. It's super possible that there's hella life forms out in our planet that we don't see every day, that we'd never see. There's a lot of things that could exist right in front of us that you might not even notice because you're not trained to look for it. You know, like I saw this thing yesterday that says every time you kill a spider, you're making the spider population smarter. And it's like, you know, you're thinning out the herd of dummies because the dummies are the ones that allow themselves to be seen. So it's like, you know, you're every time you kill a spider that you see one out in the open, you're doing them a favor. You're killing the dummy spider. You're eliminating the dumb gene and preventing them from breeding with the rest of the smart ones that are perfectly capable of hiding. So the rest of the spider population becomes more ninja and more dangerous every single generation. So it's like every time a person kills a spider, we're allowing them to be dumb. We're allowing them to get smarter. I mean, we should just keep them. We should just let all of them live and be dummy spiders and fucking. Then we don't have to worry about them eating us.
That's some scary shit. I didn't even know. I didn't even realize it, but it totally makes sense.
Yeah, process of elimination. You know what I mean? We're like speeding along their process of natural evolution.
Natural selection is what we should do to people.
I agree.
Fucking, yeah, it says here that between 15 and 18,000 new species are identified each year around the world. Half of those being insects, but some of them are larger animals, and you never know. I mean, the world's a big place, and, you know, California, Northern California, where most of these Bigfoot sightings happen, is not that big, but there's also large wooded areas that you can get lost in forever. And I'm not saying that Bigfoot's real. I'm not saying Bigfoot's not real. But one of the most compelling things that I heard in the case is that, because people say that we haven't found a Bigfoot corpse yet. And someone brought up, like, to that point, how many times have you been in the woods hiking along and found a bear corpse?
Yeah, it
never
doesn't happen.
Yeah, it never happens. But there's bear everywhere. Yeah. You know, you see bear, but you never find a bear corpse because that shit's taken care of by the animals within a couple days.
Well, besides that,
and they usually go somewhere secluded and die.
Yeah, exactly. They do things like that too, and it's like part of their nature, you know. So it's like, and that's a definitely good point, you know. And I think they don't want to be seen. Yeah, you know, think about it. They don't want to be seen. They're smart. They don't, you know, if they are real, they're used to doing whatever they're doing, and they're fucking not idiots, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're a Bigfoot and you're living in the forest and you don't want to be seen, all you have to do is stand up tall and straight. You look like a tree. It's done. You know what I mean? No one's going to question anything.
Yeah, I mean, like, think about how much it takes to feed one of those. Mm-hmm. If a Bigfoot is real, think about how much it has to eat every day. You think if it was a vegetarian, it could fucking squander that much shit?
Yeah.
Maybe. You know what I mean? Like, if it was, I don't know. Who knows? You know, it's a big fucking creature. It's got to eat a whole lot, just like a fucking bear or anything else. Probably not as much as a bear, but
there's no
maybe
telling.
Maybe
It could be Bigfoot. It could be aliens. There's really no telling what's taking these people. But one thing's for sure, a lot of people have been missing, dead, gone. Nobody knows why, and the National Park Services don't talk about it. So,
well, let's smoke one for the lost souls, and then get into our next segment.
Let's do it. I got let me pack up a fresh bowl right here, and then I got a good track to smoke to by some fuckboy.
Everywhere I go, I keep it west side. Even Khaled knows we do it the best, right? Major key, shopping sprees, life on overdose. Addicted to the money, so I hold it close. You can see all the moves that we making, so really we ain't gotta say Nathan. The only thing that I know when it comes to these is one thing's for sure, you not fucking with me. Nope. You not fucking with me. Nope. You not fucking with me. Nope. You not fucking with me. You not fucking with me.
So I hold it close.
You not fucking with me.
One more.
So I hold it close.
So you not fucking with me.
Oh shit! You're not fucking with me.
Holy shit, Jay.
That was this guy Blackstain.
Oh, yeah.
Blackstain with Chris Rod.
Sweet. Chris Rod, he's dope, actually. I heard about him.
Yeah, I heard about him a lot. He's super fresh. I don't know who the other guy is though.
Well, keep it pushing, dudes.
Yeah, he raps good. That's why I hate. You know what I mean? If he was a bad rapper, then I'd be like, keep it up, buddy. But you know, someone's gotta like knock him down a couple pegs every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck that guy.
I don't even know this guy personally, so I don't know why I'm talking about him so much. But if you guys want to go check him out yourself and give your own personal opinion, then you could go to soundcloud.com/BLVKSTN.
Boom.
Boom.
There we go.
So we something was brought to my attention by you, Joey. A very smart mind out there has been warning us in robot language, and nobody's listening. Is that true?
Yeah. It's a stern warning. It's a severe warning. It's a warning to all mankind. And
womankind, and the third bathroom.
And it's directly because of us. So
Tell them what's happening. Who is this? Who is this smart mind?
let me get a drum roll.
Drum roll? I got you.
Stephen Hawking.
Holy shit. That was a
Yeah.
mystical drum roll.
I know, right?
I don't know
That's
how
awesome.
I did that.
Me neither. That was cool.
Whoa. Sorry about that. Stephen Hawking's has for years, and kind of all within the past 3 years, a lot of these look like they're from 2014 and on.
Let's just say he's the king of space.
He is. He's the king of space.
He's the king of everything.
King of every- what are you fucking? Let's play a game of
Wiz
what is
Khalifa?
Kung
KOE.
Fu Vampire eating.
Yeah.
So Stephen Hawking has been warning people about the fall of humanity that could be happening within the next 100 years. All these different things. It seems like every few months he has a new thing, like a new warning about how aliens could take over the world. If they find us, they might not be nice, was one of them.
Whoa. That was weird.
What happened?
I don't know.
Did you get AIDS?
Yeah.
Fuck, are you serious, man?
Computer AIDS.
Dude, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man.
Fucking, I got that Charlie Sheen virus.
That sucks. But it's a good thing that we have a lot of people donating at naturalhabitatpodcast.com. We'll go ahead and get you that AIDS, that AIDS pill. You'll be good. You take 8 of them. I think they have you take 8 because it sounds like AIDS.
And you gotta drink goat urine and tiger blood.
That's right. Goat urine, tiger blood. You have to put your face in a wizard sleeve, and then you're cured. So we can do that after the show. You're just gonna have to have AIDS for the rest of this episode if that's fine with you. It doesn't hurt too bad, does it?
No, feels good.
Maybe that's why so many people have it.
Maybe
because it feels good.
Something to do with like some chemical in your stomach. Make you feel really good.
So
okay.
All right, yeah.
Cue that dramatic music.
Moving on. Let's see.
Let's fucking let's get into these warnings, if we could.
Let's do it. First of all, I have a triple warning.
Boom. Boom.
That is from Stephen Hawking, Elon Musk, and Bill Gates.
Holy shit.
They recently have warned the world about artificial intelligence, saying that artificial intelligence can become so smart that it will eventually take over humankind because mankind is the #1 threat to the planet and to the survival of mankind. So that's pretty creepy right there. Elon Musk is a smart dude, and Stephen Hawking is the smartest dude, and Bill Gates has money. So what do you think about that? What do you think about the artificial intelligence taking over?
I think it's a possibility, you know. If we've seen it in movies, I think we could see it in real life. I don't know, man. A lot of things that we've put in movies, not expecting to become realities, have become realities. So it's like you never know, man. Especially with the warning from some people like them. These are not only the richest people on the planet, but they happen to be the smartest people on the planet also. And you know, if they tell you something, they probably mean it.
Yep.
And they're not like a government who doesn't care about you, who just needs you for your tax money. You know, they have a duty to mankind, and they want to warn everybody of how to take steps to ensure the survival of our species. It's not just they care about you in general, because they care more about people as a species than anything else, and they don't want to see us go extinct.
Yeah. So those are the ones to listen to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely pay attention.
Yeah, I think that anything that I see in a movie can be real life, and that's why I don't watch horror movies in the dark in an empty house. You know what I mean? It just doesn't happen because that shit gets too real. It gets like that part of your mind is like, man, this shit could really happen. But with a movie like Ex Machina, you know what I mean? Like when the robot bitch gets all intelligent, and the whole point of the whole like love interaction and everything like that is for her to escape her room and get out into the world. And after that, you never know what the fuck's gonna happen. So that's a very solid warning that should be heeded. You got another one? We got another warning?
Play that music. This next warning is from the man again, Stephen Hawking.
Oh shit.
And this warning says,
Uh-huh.
it's time to go.
Time to go?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
He says it's time to leave. Time to leave the planet.
Hey guys, pack up your shit. It's time to go.
He says,
get in the car.
He says leave or face certain death.
Damn, that's a heavy
and
fucking...
He gives you a time frame. Granted, it's a big time frame. 7.6 billion years.
That ain't nothing.
That's a blink of an eye in space and time.
Mm-hmm.
But check it. It says, let's face it. The planet is heating up. Earth's population is expanding at an exponential rate. The natural resources vital to our survival are running out faster than we can replace them with sustainable alternatives.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the human race manages not to push itself to the brink of nuclear extinction, it is still foregone conclusion that our aging sun will expand and swallow the Earth in roughly 7.6 billion years. He says the only way to guarantee our survival is to leave, and he's right. You know what I mean? He's right. We have to colonize other planets. We have to look for the next Earth in the Goldilocks zone. We have to meet the other species out there that are like us, that are just trying to live and paint that Star Wars picture. We got to do it. The only way to further human species throughout eternity is to keep moving, keep going. Get to the next spot, get to the next spot, because space is ever expanding.
Yeah.
And so the only way you can go is to keep trying to move forward before you get left behind and get sucked up into a black hole.
Yep, it's true. And, you know, I think that's why this mission to Mars is so important. These people that are sacrificing their lives for, you know, mankind and for knowledge. And also Scott Kelly, the astronaut that did a year in space. You know, that's why people like him are so important. And people like Stephen Hawking that are urging people to do it. And Elon Musk that are making, you know, rockets that propel themselves in zero gravity using magnets and don't use any fuel at all. And that's like some crazy shit that we need to be thinking about to advance like our, like, you know, humankind, what our species. And we're stuck on this little tiny speck, like our guest Bill Nye said at the beginning of the show, who's sitting out in the lobby right now. We're just a speck on a speck on a speck in a speck that's in this little galaxy, and we're not even downtown. We're on the edge of town. So if we could start moving around, there's so many different things that we could possibly find. We've only seen little tiny, you know, specks of light through telescopes that we've made artist renditions of that are just planets in our solar system, you know?
Yep.
So I think that it's definitely important that we focus on movement from the planet, because we're not going to be able to survive here forever. We've already done a lot of damage. We've already run out of room. So
it's not about that. Like, hopefully we could live here forever, you know, for the entire
yeah, but the way
7 billion years or whatever,
but
you know what I mean?
The
like,
way that the population
ideally,
has tripled in the past, you know, 50 years.
right, but we've gone over this before also, that doesn't even really mean anything, because the entire population now on Earth could fit shoulder to shoulder in Los Angeles. So
yeah,
that doesn't mean shit, really. It's the resources that's the problem. That's enough. It's getting the people to fucking pay for the food to feed everybody, which doesn't happen because governments are fucking greedy and keep money, and you know, basically we're all slaves to them. So that's what they're saying. If we don't figure out a way to fucking take care of everybody, then that's what's going to fuck us. That's what's going to cause the mass starvation and the mass pandemonium, because of greedy people for no reason trying to hide shit, or trying not to, whatever, to not spread the wealth, you know, and that's really what it always boils down to.
Yeah, and it makes it, if only a certain amount of people are hoarding all this money, then you're constantly, you know, grinding for the little bit of money that's left for everybody else, and it becomes this, you know, your whole life is wake up early so that you can go to work, and you have to fucking do all this grind and give all of your energy to this job so that you can get money that goes directly towards debt and rent and bills and car payments and insurance and all these things that you have to be a member of society. and they add new shit every year, and you're not working for money. You're working for your place, that you can hold your place in this like cogboard that are pretty much just a bunch of jail cells that everybody goes back and forth to work and produces shit. And you get in this like, you know, in this mode to where you just need a little bit more money. And if you work, you know, a couple extra hours and you work this weekend, then you'll be able to save up. And before you know it, you're 65 years old. All the best years of your life are gone. And, you know, you think about, is this world going to end? You know, the world could blow up any day. Are aliens going to come and blow shit up? Is a volcano going to erupt? Well, the world is going to end for everybody. Everybody's world is going to end one day. And you're going to waste your life building for something that you're never going to have, that you're never going to get if you're struggling your whole life. So, you know.
Instead of experiencing life.
Yeah, instead of experiencing it while you're in it.
And seeing everywhere in the world while you have the capabilities. I mean, like, that's the craziest thing to me, right?
Work to live, don't live to work.
That, yeah, you know, is that people don't have the urge to travel as much as they should.
Mm-hmm. People don't go outside.
I feel like some people don't ever leave their hometowns.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are like, I haven't been out of the county. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You haven't been out of the county. Drive. Get in a car and fucking drive for like 8 hours. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's crazy to me, right? And the fact that life is so finite, and you know, and nobody knows how much time they have, and the fact that it is so short, and we do get caught up in so much mundane, everyday bullshit. The fact that we don't take the time and guaranteed time for ourselves to go experience the world while you can at a reasonable age. Like, why? I don't understand why anybody waits till they fucking retire to do that type of shit when you can't even enjoy the shit.
Yeah, you can barely move and your back hurts and your fucking
or you're
knees
fucking
are all
napping
filled with
through
fluid.
the whole thing or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like there's no excuse. You should be doing it while you're young. And like, you know, I think so many things are backwards, and it's because people just like are okay with the fact that this is life.
Yeah, it's almost like you're taken care of. You're entertained by these new things that haven't been around forever. You have, you know, streaming movies. You have, you know, you're trying to get a bigger TV all the time, and all these different things that you're chasing that are all materialistic inside of your house. And, you know, you're not really connecting with the world, which is what people have done forever. And it's like, there's so much beautiful shit and so many amazing things that you could see that no matter where you live, within 100 miles of you, there's something amazing that you've never seen. And you can go there, like, you could get high, and you could be like, wow, this is a trip. You know what I mean?
think all these idiots should be thanking their Jesuses for the fucking internet, because they would have no clue what the world is like without it.
Yeah.
You know? For real. I mean, like, the internet has changed everything. You could see anything in the world you want to see right now.
Yeah.
It's basically the same as going somewhere if you'll never have the means to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's great. You know what I mean? That's like it's like the closest thing to a god.
Yeah, and it's kind of brought everyone together to where we all have this kind of universal consciousness, to where it's harder for people to trick you and keep you in your box and keep you happy. You know what I mean? Like in the 80s and 90s, that's just what you did. That's how it was. You know what I mean? Like, you came home, you fucking watched the news, and then you watched whatever sitcom was on your fucking satellite or your like cable TV with the antennas that you got.
Get up and do it again the next day.
Yeah, and you were fed these things, and it would show you a commercial for some new fucking soda that they had out, and you'd be like, oh wow, I saw this fucking commercial, and you go buy the new cherry Dr. Pepper. And it's like, it's harder to do that because there's so many things, so people can look for their own shit. You know what I mean? That's why people are here, because they're, you know, they've sought out something else besides what was being given to them. And, you know, it's brought everyone together and kind of turned a lot of people against each other, which brings me to our next Stephen Hawking's prediction.
Oh, shit.
So, he says that if machines don't take over and kill humankind, that human aggression will kill humankind. That people are very egotistical, very greedy, and his quote is, "The human failing I would most like to correct is aggression. It may have had survival advantage in caveman days to get more food, territory, or a partner to reproduce, but now it threatens to destroy us all." So, you know, in our civilized society that we live in today, we don't need to, you know, puff our chests out and show aggression and try to be better than everybody else because we're all working together. We're not trying to fight for territory and vaginas anymore.
True.
I mean, kinda. In a way, we all are. Still, in a way. We all have that same primal shit, but...
Well, we should turn it and trigger it towards space and try to go get that space vagina.
We should all be angry at space.
Yeah, let's go get that space vagina. Let's go fucking implant ourselves everywhere in space and guarantee, you know, everything. I mean, like, human as a people can last forever.
If we just fuck space and just put people there and have babies.
Blast your comes out to space.
Yeah, so we're gonna come in space. It's gonna be a fucking horrible bukkake cream pie all over space. And we
Littered
get that
with
bitch,
fucking random human life everywhere.
get that bitch pregnant. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, we're gonna impregnate space. Thank you, Stephen Hawking.
Pregnant space.
This episode is brought to you by YouTube.
All right. Well, yeah, I think that it's definitely a trip, and it's something that people should think about. I think about it all the time, and I urge you guys tonight to go out somewhere where you can see the stars, if it's clear out, and you know, just look at it, like look into the universe, because after you stare at it for a while, it does that thing that, like, you know, those 3D paintings that look like nothing, but then you like look through it and then it looks like a boat. Like if you look through the sky, you realize that, you know, there's close stars and there's far stars and then there's very, very far stars and then there's farther stars and then there's little tiny specks that are stars that are farther away, and beyond that there's more stars. And then if you have a telescope, it goes for like so many more, an infinite amount of levels. And you just see how deep this shit is and how small we are and just how bad we want to fuck that bitch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck that sky. So look at it. Look at it and think about fucking it.
Yeah. Sexy ass universe.
All right. Well, Space Week has commenced.
Yeah, sorry for making it so depressing in the beginning, but it'll get better.
Yeah, no one else will get, maybe some people will get abducted and disappear. It's whatever.
Maybe Trump will.
And if you are a loved one of someone that has disappeared in a state park and you are upset by this episode, you shouldn't be seeking out things about people disappearing in state parks and listening to podcasts about it. Yeah. So it's your fault. You know what I mean? If you want to properly grieve, you need to step away from that and not pay attention to the trolls.
Let Jesus take the wheel.
Natural Habitat Recordings.